What you're stressing for. Stress is important for growth, but at the same time, you want to induce stress on areas that you want to improve. It's not like random stress where
It came to a point where I want to prioritize myself. It's about that push and pull about what you want and what you need to give back also. Being aware of all these different things that I need to work on to be able to be a full holistic person, that is something that fitness has taught me.
Because we are under so much stress during the workout, we are still required to, control the repetitions, right? Because we want to get the most out of it. That has taught me that external stress shouldn't rock the boat here.
I get very happy as a coach because I let them feel what their body is made of and what their body is telling them also. And there's these new neurons moving around their body and just waking up. It's like an awakening process actually for a lot of my clients.
Welcome to the Move Well, Live More podcast, where we discuss topics from exercise and nutrition to health and lifestyle tips for your overall quality of life.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Move Well, Live More podcast. My name is Matthew. I'm a coach and nutritionist here at Move. Today, we have two very special guests who have a wealth of experience with clients. They've been in the personal training game much longer than I have. They're very good at bringing breakthroughs and making clients be able to really realize and celebrate their wins. Without further ado, I'll let the guests introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Jonn. I'm a coach for Move Private Fitness, Damansara Heights.
Hey guys, I'm Leonard and I'm from Move Mont Kiara.
Nice, okay. Which brings us to our episode today where we're going to talk about how regular exercise can build mental resilience and cope with stress. So we're putting this episode right here, especially towards the end of the year, because we know that a lot of you are probably clearing up a lot of work. Workload's going to get a lot busy because you're going to clear up just before the holidays kick in. So therefore, you might be feeling a bit stressful and coping with a lot of things. So this episode is just here right in time for you. So anyways, at the end of the podcast, we hope that you will learn about how regular exercise can become your secret weapon for strengthening mental resilience and conquering life's toughest battle. Number 2, practical strategies to kickstart your fitness journey, stay motivated, and master control over your life. And also just to gain inspiration from the amazing personal stories that you'll be about to hear from the coaches themselves and some of their clients. Okay, before you begin, if you love to hear more of our content about movement, health, and fitness from us, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss an episode. Okay, so let's dive right into the episode and let's start by getting to know a little bit more about our guests. Okay, when you guys start working out?
Let me go first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so for me, actually, it started off in university. I was a very chubby and heavy kid. And one of my friends, Megan, she was a personal trainer.
Okay.
And luckily enough for me, she was not that smart.
Okay.
So I helped her to study. She was a personal trainer and she helped me to lose weight. And both of us, we just leveraged on each other's skills and just help each other grow in that sense.
So your first experience was with a trainer?
Was with a trainer actually. I mean, the real actual way to work out in the sense of going through a strength training program and not just go to the gym with like your dad and your dad telling you what to do lah, you know.
So what was your motivation for reaching out to your friend to train you?
Okay. This is good. Don't judge me, okay, guys. This was in uni and I wanted to be more attractive towards the opposite sex. That was like the first time for me, I was at that age and I wanted to be more attractive and I wanted to just go out there, put myself out there a little bit more, get more attention. And I never got that my whole life because I was slightly, on the bigger side. So working out, I think, and looking better was one of the things that motivated me.
So you were saying you were a big guy and you started working out. So I assume you lost weight along the way, got a bit more buff.
Yeah.
So what did you start learning at that beginning to see these results as you start working out?
Actually, if I were to be honest, at that point, I didn't really make very good habits in terms of working out. In a sense that I worked out, I did all of that, but at the same time, I crashed diet. That was the part where I didn't make good choices. Looking back at it now, actually very happy I'm at this point where I've experimented enough with fitness. I want to make fitness a sustainable lifestyle choice. And I'm also always making good choices and more informed choices in my fitness routine, especially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, starting to work out has taught you how to make more like informed decisions rather than those like crash diets and everything.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Jonn, what about you? When did you start working out?
I started working out at a point of time where I had no sense of control in all aspects of my life, actually. I was going through, funnily enough, I was trying to meant a heartbreak, so I was going through a tough time.
Okay, opposite of Leonard.
Yes, opposite. I was not trying to look
Total
attractive.
opposite, man.
You were already in the game. Okay.
I was in the game, but I was just broken by the game. Aside from that, I also had a job where I really didn't enjoy. I had really poor eating, sleeping, and toxic habits, lifestyle habits anyway, that affected my health. I was at an all-time low in terms of body weight. So I'm naturally short and or people say vertically challenged. Okay. So I was about 45 kilos and I never felt good about myself. So at that point of time, everything just came crashing down. So I started working out because one of my close friends, he came back from the UK and he's similar to Leonard actually. He has been working out for over 5 years, so he offered to train me.
So both of you like sort of helped by someone else who's been
So what did you give him, bro? In return for his
I gave him my commitment.
Accountability.
I gave him my commitment.
So in your journey of starting out, so what did you begin to realize about working out? Like, did it help you in any ways dealing with your initial heartbreak?
Yes, it did. So it helped me to realize that the heartbreak wasn't like the end of me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it wasn't the end of me. I wasn't gonna die from it or whatnot. But then what I realized aside from that was that I had these underlying issues, which, long story short, is like poor self-esteem, self-confidence. In fact, doing this today for me is something huge because in the past, if you ask me to even do an interview, I would be like that. I'll be like that.
Kudos to you for being here today.
Correct.
Well,
So it wasn't that I didn't have a voice. It wasn't that I didn't have a good thought process. It was that I was so shy and afraid to say what I feel and do what I feel. Yeah. So going to the gym sort of helped me with that.
Wow, that's big, man.
Yeah.
So I think just like you, many people face challenges in their fitness journeys, right? From setbacks to self-doubt, like you just mentioned. Can you share a personal story where you encountered a significant obstacle while pursuing your fitness goals and how you overcame it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good one because I think for me it was a lot of a renewed identity for myself, especially because I was always, most of my habits were still locked into my old lifestyle, which was, going out till late, partying, and I used to enjoy a lot of drinks. I love to be around people. And most of the time that I used to be around people was with alcohol or stuff like that. So that was one of the toughest things I had to do to renew the identity of building this whole new community around health and fitness. But it caught on very quick because the fitness industry is so fun, right? And people in the industry are so cool,
friendly, and it's easy to mingle around. Yeah,
your colleagues become your close friends. Your clients become your close friends. I love all my clients. We do a lot of things together. I even pull one of them to go for a fitness event together. Because that relation is so relationship based, I guess it was easier to transition into this new lifestyle. But that initial part was tough. Like, friends call you to go out, mama, and sit down at 2, and I'm like, I don't see a purpose in that anymore,
Okay, yeah. So this journey, getting into fitness just really helped you build a new identity of being the fit Leonard now. Like not fit Leonard but healthy, making more informed choices. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Jonn, what about you? Any obstacle you face? It doesn't even have to be in your fitness journey, like life obstacle you face, but in your fitness journey has helped you with that.
I think similar to Leonard. So when he mentioned Mamak 2 a.m., I was like, man, that's like flashback for me.
That's you.
Yeah, that was me, man. That was me. But instead of 2 a.m., it was like 5 a.m. Yeah, I used to do things like that back once when I was studying or even working because I was young. I can just bounce back the next day. I took advantage of my youth. And I think overall I did a lot of damage over there that I'm trying to undo right now. But I would say the main obstacle that I faced was I have very, very, very poor eating habits that really got in the way of my fitness goals. When I started gym, really got in the way because back then when I was like 45 kilo, I used to eat one meal and sometimes I don't eat for maybe like 12 to 18 hours. Yeah, I have no idea why. Yeah. Aside from that, poor sleep as well. Poor sleep, it was the bane of me because I either go out late at night and hang out or I will be playing games and,
until late night, which really affected my fitness goals.
Okay, so similar in the sense where throughout these obstacles, you guys had like a lot of bad habits and then you overcame it, right? Eventually, you guys did overcome it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but so that's quite a big thing, right?
Jonn is like, I'm still in the process, man.
But you did overcome some obstacles. So, you know, you guys had some wins at the start. So just reflecting on these wins, how has this affected your mindset now when you go through an obstacle, a new obstacle today, or you're coping with stress?
For me, I think it goes down to priorities at that point.
Yeah.
I think I came to a point where I was like, okay, I want to prioritize myself. And because I want to prioritize myself, I made decisions around that. And that has changed, and that has made me see the results of who I am today. And it's more of the growth and learning mindset of what I want to look at myself, or how I want to look at myself. I always create small goals for myself, 3 months at a time. And so right now, how it's changed my mindset is that I'm always planning of what I want to look, or what I want to do in the next 3 months. And it has always given me that time to reflect and to think about it and to prioritize. So sometimes I might need to say no to, like, for example, family. Right now, if I'm prioritizing my work and I'm on a new muscle building program, I might need to say no to some of their events because I can't attend all the time, but I might be able to attend maybe once in 3 months.
Okay.
So it's about that push and pull about what you want and what you need to give back also, because I can't be doing this without having the social contact with people around me that care and love me too. So being aware of all these different things that I need to work on to be able to be a full holistic person, that is something that fitness has taught me.
So it's sort of taught you that resilience to learn to say no and also to prioritize yourself, right? Yeah. So what about if, let's say now, of course, you are having a few roles right here at Move. So sometimes work time tends to pile up. Imagine last time, maybe you as a uni kid before you started working out, and you had a lot of assignments, and it was stressful. So both of these are stressful.
Yeah.
But would you say that you'll be able to cope with stress better now, learning how to work out and everything?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So in what?
But I don't look at stress as something that is bad, because I feel like I've lived with that for a long time, and it's about managing it. And fitness has taught me how to manage it better with really feeling how I feel and having that awareness to how I feel and reflecting on it and also creating a plan for it. Yeah, that has helped me a lot. Especially being in this environment at Move, that has really helped me with people who has gone through the whole process also, and learning from them.
I guess in a gym, right, you're sort of stressing yourself out.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think in that context where we're lifting weights and sort of putting stress in our body, that it kind of changes our mindset, right?
It does.
Stress isn't a bad thing.
It does, right? I go through a leg day, a leg day routine, bro. You start with the toughest workout at the first workout, and it goes through a lot of life's concepts. Our life concept says that you start with the easiest things first. Bro, we do the hardest things first in our programs, and going through the hard things, and after and prepping your mind to go through that whole process, and finishing it. Sometimes I feel like I'm a warrior, man.
Right. Sometimes from afar, you just think, okay, that guy's just working out. But actually, when you're working out, exactly what you said, man, leg day, dude, you
got squats, and then sometimes you got RDLs after, and then,
Yeah, and sometimes...
you're just fully fried.
I mean, I'm not exaggerating, but sometimes the lesson we learn from just going through a leg day can be actually applied to life, right? Yeah. So what about you, Jonn? How would you say you have been coping with stress now as compared to before when... you mentioned, right, before your heartbreak and everything.
I would say like heaven and earth, because back then everything was a chaos. I was reacting to everything. Something upsetting happened to me, I would be just reacting to it and not really taking the time to, like what Leonard said, reflect and think what my next step is. So but right now it just feels like I am more aware. I'm able to separate myself from my feelings and take the necessary action to get the best outcome. And I think how exercise has helped with that. So you guys mentioned leg day, going through that is like quote unquote hell. Okay, quote unquote. Yes, so definitely agree. So for me, how I see it is that, so stress to me used to be a bad thing. Now it's a good thing at moderate doses. Okay, moderate doses. So stress and challenges is required for us to grow to be better. Just like our muscle, you put adequate and moderate amount of stress on the muscle, it will grow, right? So I took that lesson with me throughout my life. I look at stress like, oh shit, I'm so stressed, I hate this. Then wait, no, maybe this is what I need to grow. Then aside from that, because we are under so much stress during the workout, physical stress, we are still required to, control the repetitions, right? Because we want to get the most out of it. That has taught me that external stress shouldn't rock the boat here. Okay, I should be in control of the weight. I should be in control of my movements, my actions, my thoughts, and my outcomes.
Wow. Yeah. The power of your story. Yeah. But I think what you said is really true. Like, because working out is kind of go through a controlled, periodized program and everything, right? So it does teach you a lot of things about control. And going back to your story before, you were a scrawny kid, right? And now, can see you have a bit of muscle mass.
Thanks, man.
So, and
you're bigger, bro.
And we all know that if you want to increase muscle mass, you need to, like you said, apply adequate stress to the body. So that means you have been going through a lot of these stresses, and you have learned how to look at it at a different way. When even outside of a fitness context, like, hey, this work is stressing me out. I think a lot of people might just get overwhelmed and maybe take it really hard and then require like a long way to get back. But maybe for you going through this process, constantly under stress to grow muscle, now you're looking at stress like, hey, maybe I need this stress to grow my mental game, right? Yeah.
I think I resonate with that also because I feel stress, you should know what you want to stress for. If it's going to stress for things that you don't want, I'm like, hey, come on lah, let's figure out things that you want to stress on, because stress is always going to be there. If you see yourself having 5 stresses in a day,
right,
that's so much more stressful than having 2 stresses in a day. Yeah. So it's about managing how many stresses you want, what are sacrifices you're going to make for it, and taking it on from there.
Yeah. So building on what Leonard said, like he said, what you're stressing for. For me, stress is important for growth, but at the same time, you want to induce stress on areas that you want to improve. Okay,
100%.
You don't want to stress in general. Is not like stress is a good thing. Let me take more of it. No, it's not like that. But if you want to, let's say, okay, I want to build my leg muscle. I gotta stress it out. I gotta challenge it.
Yeah.
So if I want to be better at, let's say, be better team player with my team.
Yeah.
So maybe I should take the effort to put more effort there, put more stress there, put more challenges there. It's not like random stress where you just go around the street and
I'm looking in a way where I'm thinking of some of my clients, right? Like let's say you wake up and then there are things happening like jam. You don't want to waste your effort focusing on the stress from like jam or like you forgot your wallet at home or something, but you want to be putting more energy towards like the stress you put in work.
Yep.
Because that's what's gonna, earn your livelihood and everything, right?
Yep.
Similar to us in the gym and everything.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
You won't feel bad on top of that to say no to things that you don't want to. You don't want to put your stress to. Because you'll be like, hey, I have the awareness. This is what I want to stress on. It's okay for the rest.
Yeah. A lot of gold nuggets from your journeys coming into fitness. So what I want to know now is that, because right now, obviously, you have been in the game of personal training for quite a number of years between the both of you, right? So was there a specific moment of realization where you felt like something happened and then you feel like, hey, I want to be a trainer. I want to help other people become like how I feel. Yeah.
Jonn, you can go first.
Yeah, all right. For me, it was the fact that how training has transformed me as a person, has made me more mature, made me happier in general. Not because I'm a meathead, okay? Maybe I am, but anyway, it was because I felt like I got back the sense of control that I've always desired. I realized that I wasn't a failure. Because every time I go to the gym, hey, I got stronger. Hey, I got stronger. There was a tangible way to measure my effort. I could see that my effort was yielding results. That a lot of the time outside when we do things, we feel like we're not yielding results. That's why we give up. That's why we feel stressed about it, right? So this sentiment, I wanted to share it with the people close to me as well. So I started off training the people around me, friends, family and all that. And what I realized that when they went through the same thing as me and their smile on their face after they, lifted a weight that they never thought they could, it was so warm inside that I just couldn't explain what it feels like until I found the word a few years ago. So that feeling was called joy. Yeah, joy is pleasure and joy is different. So joy is that warm feeling that is not rewarding to you in terms of financial, emotional, or anything.
Yeah.
But you just feel so happy for the sake of being happy, you know?
Right.
So that was the moment I realized that I wanted to do this for as long as I could.
Yeah, I completely relate to you. Actually, even today, this morning, like I have this client who's been struggling with squats. She's always doing squats with either her knees caving in or her hips shooting up. And today she finally did a full set of squats with 10 kilo goblet squat. And the moment she finished that last rep, she just smiled and just like, wow, I can't believe I did. I'm so happy. Yeah. So you telling that story just made me feel wow. It just reminded me of that joy as like seeing people accomplish things that they just felt like they couldn't do before. So Leonard, what about you?
Yeah, I think I can resonate with both of you also. I love it when my clients tell me this. They're like, Leonard, I never knew I had muscles at the back, you know, or I never knew I had muscles at a certain area before, you know. And hearing that, when I hear people say that, I get very happy as a coach because I let them feel what their body is made of and what their body is telling them also. Yeah. And there's this new neurons moving around their body and just waking up. It's like an awakening process actually for a lot of my clients. And I enjoy the process. And also today morning, very interestingly, I asked one of my clients he enjoys drinking lah. Okay, let's just put it that way, okay? So I asked him recently, because coming down towards December and Christmas is here, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more parties. Then he looked at me, he's like, Leonard, I don't think so. I've been drinking at all or much this past 1 month and going into December, much lesser than last year. And I was like, why? He said subconsciously it's so different for him now because he's looking forward to the strength that he's building and he's benching at 90 kilos for a client, and that's huge. I don't expect that for like any clients, but
even
you know,
for a trainer, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So it's cool to hear this kind of stories.
Dialing back to the question I asked Jonn before, what point of time in your fitness journey did you decide like, hey, I want to do this as a career? I want to help other people achieve the same thing.
So this is not my first career by education. So it was legal. I had legal education and I went to law. Actually, I knew I wanted to be a personal trainer, or I wanted to help people, coach people. When I knew that law was really not the environment I wanted to be in and not the kind of people that I wanted to deal with. It's not really community based. It's more for yourself kind of community. You feel isolated in your environment. Here, I don't feel isolated at all. Like, look at us. We're just sitting down here having a conversation as coaches and sharing, right? That's when I knew that, okay, due to the sharing nature and everybody for doing it together, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get back to fitness coaching.
Okay, yeah, more towards like, instead of like doing things for maybe self gain, but more like having that abundance mindset. Like, hey, let's all win together.
Exactly.
Let's share what we have and everything.
Yep.
That's nice. So now that I've listened to more of you about your journeys, like it's really nice. I mean, I know you guys for quite a while, but just I feel like wow, it's even I'm inspired knowing like knowing your journeys into coming to fitness and even becoming trainers.
Yeah, exactly. Jonn never opens up to me, you know, never talks to me about stuff like this.
So now that we've been talking mostly about your journeys for your own journey into a trainer, let's shift focus to more of like your clients, right? Actually, I realized both of you, Leonard from afar, Jonn from coaching in the same studio, is that, I mean, with my clients, I bring out wins from them here and there, but wow, you guys really managed to have that connection. Like Jonn really, I feel like when he's in the zone with his clients, really, really like, I can see the connection from afar. So, and also being able to bring up their breakthrough stories, making them able to celebrate their wins without like you celebrating for them. So how do you guys have this relationship with your clients?
I think I will start with one of the limiting beliefs I had or used to have. It was that I didn't believe that breakthroughs can happen on a daily basis or a weekly basis. I thought that it would take longer, like, 6 months or a year or maybe 2 years, because that was just the kind of hard as I am lah. Okay. But I realized from my clients that some of them actually, like, they're so excited for the smallest things, and I realized that the breakthroughs that they experience, it wasn't about me, it was about them. And how I bring their breakthrough stories to the surface is that most of the time it's very impromptu, it's very spontaneous and random at times as well. So, but in general, I guess I practice a lot of active listening, acknowledging of their feelings,
right? And
most importantly, asking very specific questions to what they have shared, instead of just, if they share with you something, you're like, oh, okay, that's nice. Then it wouldn't lead anywhere. But if you want to get the conversation going, I usually try to probe a little bit more, or sometimes I share a similar story that I had. And what the beauty of sharing stories with each other, I noticed, was that there's sort of a ripple effect. You know, she shared one, then I'm going to share one. Then she shared one, then share. So it's like, it's beautiful aside from the fact we might get too chatty during the session.
And then okay. Two things I got from you there. So one is more like realizing that, hey, actually every day it can be a breakthrough, a mini breakthrough, a bigger breakthrough, but a breakthrough nonetheless. So there's always a reason to sort of celebrate a win, a breakthrough. And number two, especially the one where you said that, I guess the vulnerability, being with your clients, like you don't just like, you tell me something like, okay, yeah. You say something and I share something, okay? Yeah. So I'll definitely try that, and I think I know how to really inspire my clients more to maybe sharing so they can inspire others as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So Leonard, I do see your social media, you share quite a bit of your clients' journeys, and also even recently you had like a YouTube video with one of your clients, right?
Yeah.
On their journey. So how do you inspire them to share or even develop this relationship with them?
So like Jonn, I think so we both speak the same language with our clients, but the thought process I have in my head when a client comes in is that I know that they're coming and they've dropped an inquiry or they want our help is because they have got a pain, and they've got a pain and they need help. They need someone to keep them accountable towards working on their pains and seeing it through. So one of my clients came in, her name is Amy. She accumulated a lot of stress and anxiety towards previous job, and she wanted a new environment, and she wanted to feel like how she felt when she was younger and she was an athlete and stuff. Also, with her, at Move Coaches, we are also very aware of this DISC spectrum, and which is knowing the client's personality. And with her, when I knew that she was having anxiety and stress already, I knew she was probably more of a C. And a C person, they need a little bit more explanation. They need to know why behind everything that they're doing. And that's exactly what I did with her. You know, I just went through with her all the whys and why we were doing everything along the way. And immediately we just built trust with each other, because that's what she needed. That's that safe environment she needed, and a safe, supported environment. And I gave that to her. And she was very open to, she almost like put her hands of fitness towards me and let me just cruise, like let me just be a captain of a fitness journey for that while. And after we built trust, it was just celebrating her wins along the way. You know, I like to use the metrics of, she started off with a quarter of her body weight and then going up to half her body weight, and then she managed to lift out her full body weight, and that's when we really celebrated and we had a conversation with each other about how she grew in terms of strength. For me, I think building the rapport with the client by listening to them, actively listening, like what Jonn said, empathizing, and also to know them a little bit in terms of personality, because that's going to help a lot in terms of the trust building.
Yeah, similar thoughts to Jonn, and I think it's all about, like you said, active listening, so that you also understand where they're coming from. In that way, they feel heard and they can share more.
Correct. Yeah.
And you mentioned about one of your clients, right? The recent one that you did a testimonial with. I think her journey was quite inspiring. So maybe you can share a little bit more, starting from like, what challenges was she facing at the start that made her realize like, I need some guidance with this?
Before she started fitness, I started a routine here at Move. I believe she was probably in a lost space. She wanted to like get a new environment, do something extremely fresh, and just feel good about herself, you know. And good for her. Like I really was like super happy that she did it with fitness, right? Because that's one thing that you feel your physical health is something that is great. And for her, it was just helping her get through that steps by keeping her accountable towards her workouts, and a lot more accountability with her actually. For her to get through it. And challenges that she faced, I think she did not know that she had that strength capability, right? When most clients come in, especially when they're beginners, they start to gain strength real quick.
Yeah, actually
real fast. And for her, this was like so surprising, and she was super shocked initially. But just explaining to her along the way and letting her grow in that whole process, it was nice to see her go through that whole process.
Yeah. And how is she now? Because you mentioned at the start, like you said, she was dealing with a lot of stress and anxiety. How is she feeling today? Like when you see her, when you train her?
So actually, she left back to Australia already. Yeah. But we still keep in touch through text. And this is the part where I tell her like, hey, okay, I've coached you. You know what to do. Time to get a gym. And I always ask her like, hey, what was your fitness routine this week? I do a weekly check-in with her. I care for her growth, and I really enjoyed training her. And she was a great client. So just keeping her in check.
Yeah, and I mean now I'm sure she's moved environments, new workplace, but I'm sure she's coping well now. Like
I'm
a lot
sure
better.
she's coping well now.
Yeah, with like now fitness as a part of her lifestyle, learning how to find that inner strength that she found from herself.
Correct.
That you mentioned, right?
Correct.
Right now, I'm sure you see her as a different person, right? So how do you feel that strength training has helped her deal with the challenges of stress and anxiety at the start?
For her, it's a lot more, I believe, that trusting the process along the way of getting into a routine, and also committing to a routine and going through the hard work in the routine, so that she can see the easy stuff happening after her routines. So for example, one of the things that she always shared with me was like, hey Leonard, I feel so great in terms of just walking into the studio today. It felt so effortless compared to when I started. And that for me was already like, okay, when you have that one thing out of your mind in terms of your physical state, you can focus on other things. And most people are very bogged down in terms of the physical state of like, okay, I need to work on this. I need to feel good. You're feeling great already.
Right.
Let's work another thing now.
Yeah.
And then priorities would change. Maybe she can now work on her work. She can work on a career, family.
Right.
She can focus on other things. And maybe when it's time to work on fitness again, go back into another routine.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's really, really powerful. Like how it all stacks up, right? Like
It
you win
stacks
in
up.
one area, you get strong in fitness, and then it kind of makes you get strong in your mental state, your resilience,
Exactly.
your work in stress and everything.
Yep.
That's good, man. Jonn, I've seen your social media and you've been also posting a lot of recent like client journeys, breakthroughs. Could you highlight one specific client where you felt like their journey or their breakthrough was particularly inspiring?
For me, I would say Andrew's journey for me was the most inspiring so far. He has been with me for quite a while. And what I find inspiring was that when he started off, he had a medical scare that made him really afraid for his life. Okay, so he has recovered from that. And his only goal was to get back to where he was before the medical procedure. After we worked for about 3 to 4 months, he has mentioned to me that he feels like he has reached his objective, which surprisingly I did not know.
Okay.
Yeah, because I thought his objective was much further, but we've already broke his objective, we already reached his objective. And he, in his words, that he wants to right now push barriers, take it further, take it a step further, because how fitness helped him cope with his life, similar to what Leonard said, when you don't really have to think about your fitness, you can focus on other things. Yeah, he mentions that he feels more focused at work, more driven, more purposeful in his life. In fact, how it helped him deal with stress is that one of the things he loves to do was hiking and physical activities. But because he wasn't at that fitness level, he couldn't do these activities to de-stress. Yeah, in fact, it added more stress because he felt so powerless. He felt so
confined.
Like so confined. Like
when he was.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. He felt so confined, restricted. He felt weak. But now that he could do these things on a regular basis again, I would say he is more regulated in terms of his stress levels and all that. Every time he comes in now, he has always had a problem with commitment. Right now, he comes in like 30 minutes early, man.
Yeah. I can always see that. And he's very consistent.
Yeah,
that's commitment, man.
John's not even here yet.
That's right.
His client Andrew is here already.
You know, in terms of muscle, flexibility, he's one of the tightest guy I know. So he comes in and then he just do his stretches, and then when I come out from the toilet, I'm like, oh wow, he's already starting.
Oh, he actually warms up before the session starts.
Because he wants to reap more out of the session. So he got the stretches out of the way because he knew how to do them already.
Right.
Yeah, so that was something that really inspired me, which is funny, right? Because we are supposed to inspire them, but somehow they end up inspiring us. And then we inspire them, and then they inspire us. So it's like it's a never-ending thing.
It's always
right?
the push and pull effect.
Yeah, that's what's like really beautiful. Yeah.
Right, wow. Yeah. So can really see with Andrew, it's like he probably came in thinking here and then be like, wow.
Yeah.
Just strength training has really helped me, not just with work, being able to do more what I want to do and escape this like stressful environment and be able to unlock new environments where he can de-stress and have fun and enjoy. And I'm sure that's why he's like trying to maximize his 1 hour. Like otherwise it'd be just like, okay, if I stretch with Jonn, just 50 minutes. Whereas if I stretch first, it's 1 hour with Jonn. Yeah. Well, those are some really, really inspiring client stories that we've been hearing. I'm sure this will inspire a lot of people to start taking their journey, their first step into fitness, as well as coaches as well, to find those breakthroughs with their clients to inspire them more and realize how powerful this strength training is.
And just to add on to what you said just now, where you said that fitness is like coming to a studio is almost like an escape for some people to out of their routines. This was something that was shared to me exactly by one of my clients, and she's a mom and a working mom of 2 kids, career ladder, and she's got a lot of responsibilities too. And I feel sometimes moms are like real heroes, man. They've got so many responsibilities. At the same time, they make time for fitness, and that is the only slot they have to come in the studio to just shut off from everything. The moment they get out of the studio, back to like 101 calls already, you know. And so I've got one of his clients, and she uses fitness as a form of escape from like a current lifestyle and a stressful lifestyle. And some people use it as a form of relaxation. So I might not treat that workout as a super highly stressful workout where I'm giving like 100 kg squat, but it's more of like a stimulus, just enough for that person to get in movement, just enough to get in good enough workout to feel good about herself and to leave feeling better about herself. You know?
So sometimes the workout, like, it's not just about like building your mental resilience. It can also be a way to escape from all this chaos of life and just like de-stress, and then I'm just gonna zone out now and get back into it after stronger. Right. Those are some really, really good stories again, like I mentioned. So I think we can all see how exercise, how fitness can be a powerful tool or escape. Personally, I can't imagine myself how I'll be coping without it. I've been doing it since I was like 5.
Since you were out of the womb.
So let's talk more about how can someone who's just getting into this, who's a beginner, who's never done this before, kickstart their journey so they can also reap these benefits of coping with stress. So what do you have for advice for these people who are wanting to start their journey? What is one thing that they can do to take their initial step into fitness?
Get a coach, man. Invest your money in a coach. But your question is the lowest hanging fruit, or if they have got, what is their commitment like? Are they going to spend money for it, or are they going to do it on themselves? It depends. I don't really recommend doing house or home workouts because I've got a client that was working with me for a while. He's a golf client and I coach him in terms of golf conditioning too. And I never knew until we started playing golf, and I asked him like, hey man, like your knee has been aching and it's been bugging you for some time, and what happened? He said, no, I was just doing a workout video at home and I felt that snap. And I was like, what? You were doing a workout video and felt that snap? And he was like, yeah, because sometimes when you see a video and they're doing squats, they're doing like jumping jacks, and then suddenly it goes to like a 360 squat, and people they don't have the stability or the strength to be able to hold that position, and he injured his knee. So I would say a lowest hanging fruit for people to get started, to get moving, is to just go for walks, get in your steps, your daily steps. If you're already in a better physical level, go for your jogging, go for your light jogs. And if you've already gotten that basic knowledge about working out, you can just find these workout templates online that has these 3-day workouts, and then just follow it, and most importantly, consistency, right? You can follow any program. If you do it for 1 week and you don't do it for the next 3 years, then it's you're not going to get any benefit out of it.
Definitely what you mentioned, find the lowest hanging fruit. If it's walking or if it's whatever you're capable with. But at the same time, a lot of us, like you mentioned, don't know what we're capable with. So we just like jump in. And
jump in there.
In that case, I think it does make sense, like you mentioned, to find a coach, or even like you guys, find a friend who's maybe also a coach or maybe just more experienced, right? Just reaching out to someone. As a beginner, you might not know what you don't know, right? So about Jonn, do you have any, what are your insights for someone looking to kickstart their fitness journey?
My insights is really similar to Leonard. So I would get them to, move. Okay. Move more. Move more. Start by walking, light jogging. In fact, if they are working, let's say on the first floor or second floor, take the stairs. So these are little steps they can do to sort of maintain or even improve their fitness if it's a very low baseline. So aside from that, I would say home workouts that are a template and time-based, like what Leonard mentioned, 100% agree with him. It can be very dangerous because it does not take into account their fitness level. So if you are a person that is a Iron Man or Iron Lady,
Right.
you're like, wow, I can do this. No, I'm not gonna give up. Do and fair
Bam.
enough. Yep, like that.
So I like what you mentioned, like just moving more in your capacity, whether it's
Exactly, yeah.
parking further away from the
Yeah.
normal usually parking spot and then walking further. And also how important it is to know your baseline before attempting something.
Yeah.
And that's something that we all do as coaches, right? To make sure that every client is safe. So going back to what Leonard said, actually, it's also very powerful how, like, when it comes to exercise, you can have the best program in the world, but if you don't follow through, it's useless.
Yeah.
So you need the consistency, right? So any tips for someone who have already started their journey or currently undergoing their journey? How can they find that consistency or stay motivated along the way?
So I am notorious at the beginning for doing everything at once. So I'm the guy you mentioned. I'm notorious for that because I wanted to be strong. I wanted to be jacked. I wanted to be fast. I wanted to be everything. Okay, and I ended up doing nothing because when you try to focus on everything, you will end up doing nothing because everything you're doing is a 1% effort. So my advice for that was how I overcame this was that every time I want to embark on a new journey or set a new goal, I ask myself why. Like, how does this impact my life in the way I want to? Does it align with my ultimate goal? And if it's not, then I ask myself why. Then sometimes I come to the conclusion that it was externally motivated. Someone probably made me feel like, ugh, you know.
If you don't do this, you're not a man, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. Yeah, I was extremely motivated. It wasn't what I really wanted. And like, okay, just for example, like, you know, if a lot of like ladies say like 6-pack or a lot of guys say 6-pack is cool.
Yeah, but did they really want it, right?
Do I really want it? But at the moment I felt like I wanted it. So I really sit down and reflect and make sure that my effort is put at where I really wanted it. Aside from that, I find that motivation, or you know, like having the motivation to work out, to stick to the program it's sort of a lost cause because how can you be motivated for 7 years? I've been working out for 7 years. It's not possible. But instead, figuring out what works for you. If it's 2 times a week, 3 times a week, or 4 times a week, or even 1 time a week. 1 time a week, 30 minutes. That's fine. Start small and go higher and higher. That is far better than the alternative where someone says,
Just whack only. And
you
then
just whack. Yeah, they say, oh, the best program in 5 days, bro. Okay, 5 days. What happens to this person, what happened to me was that I took that advice and I just burn out. I got really demotivated because I couldn't complete my sessions.
Yeah.
I got hurt because I was overdoing it for my current fitness level. And it was just all losses. I didn't see a point. It wasn't that I wasn't strong enough or whatnot. It just wasn't for me. And
yeah, like you mentioned, it's all about the why. Once you know why you really want to do it, that can be your motivation to carry on. And also figuring out what's optimal for you based on your life commitments, based on your schedule. Like if you are having only 2 hours to work out per week, you schedule 5 sessions in, you're setting yourself up to failure, right? Yeah. So Leonard, any tips for anything to add on or anything else that you want to mention?
So I love what Jonn said, and I can definitely add on to that. I'm a person that absolutely does not believe in willpower at all. Okay. So people say the willpower, listen to motivational videos and stuff like that. I'm like,
You're gonna run out of motivational videos.
You're gonna run out of it, yeah. But one thing you can do, I'm huge for accountability partners, right? It can look very different for people. For example, accountability partners could be your coaches. It could be your friends. Like for us, it was our friends keeping us accountable towards our fitness goals. Or you can find a friend, you know, who wants to get into fitness too. Do it together with them. And another one you can do is, which I feel most people are not doing it, which is do it for the gram. Like, you know, if you start off there, post a picture up where you're starting off, let everyone around you, virtually around you, be accountable towards your goals, you know, and post up videos, your daily videos,
announce
what you're doing.
Goals, right? So once
announce
it's
your
out
goals.
there,
it's out there. You cannot lie to, we can lie one person up, but everybody is like, susah sikit lah, bro. Accountability is a huge thing for me. Putting it out there, even for me, I like to tell my colleagues, tell them what I'm working on, or anybody I can source out information, tell them what I'm doing so that they can help me improve in my program too. And also when I ever touch base with them, there's always a conversation to talk about like, hey, this is what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, it's
so it's
fun.
not just like, talking like random stuff, but
How's
actually
your mom,
something.
how's your dad, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty important too, man. But I completely agree with you. Accountability is so important for that consistency. In fact, now I'm even getting Jonn to be accountable for me and in my powerlifting journey. He's really helping me out, and he's been really making sure I do what I need to do.
That's awesome, yeah.
Yeah. And that being said, it's not just like clients or just normal people working out, it's coaches even as well, right? We do need our accountability partners. We do need to find out why and what's optimal for us with training. We're human as well, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for sharing your stories, your tips, and even your client stories. I've learned so much from this podcast. Like I'm super motivated. I don't have clients this weekend, but I'm super motivated to just go into Monday and just, start being inspiring, just like you guys.
Me too, man.
Yeah. So from this episode, what I've gathered from our conversation is, number one, when it comes to exercise and how it can build that mental resilience, that stress, is number one is building that control. Because when you're strength training, everything is controlled. You're doing a certain number of reps. You're going through your program. So it just gives you that one constant in life and also makes you realize that, hey, there's one thing I have control in my life, and once I have control over this, I can build on and have control in other parts.
Yep.
Yeah, and number two is with regards to stress. Because when we're exercising, right, or even when we're gaining muscle, we're constantly stressing out ourselves. Leg day, man. Yeah, so it teaches us how to be comfortable.
I've got leg day tomorrow, by the way.
I had mine today just now.
Oh, wow.
So even now, my body is being stressed.
I'm having mine later.
Yeah. So with stress, we're constantly putting our bodies in stress, and it kind of teaches us to know that, hey, stress is not always a bad thing, right? So when we're stressed from work, it can be more like, okay, I'm going to overcome this. I'm going to grow from this. I'm going to, just like growing my muscles from stress, I'm going to grow my mental resilience, grow my mental game. And lastly, is just how to get started into this. Knowing your why, where you're at, your baseline, so you don't injure yourself, and maybe even finding someone accountable so you can start strength training and start really reaping those mental resilience benefits as well as this stress management benefits. So anyways, that's it for our episode. I would just want to thank Jonn and Leonard, Coach Jonn and Coach Leonard, so much. Everyone give a round of applause for them.
Thanks, Matt, for hosting.
Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. We hope this episode empowers you to move well and live more. It has certainly did for myself. If you enjoyed this episode, please help us reach more listeners by sharing this on your socials. If you got a question for us or a topic you'd like us to see covered, slide a DM to our Instagram at MovePrivateFitness and we will see what we can do. Join us next time for more practical lessons and inspiration to help you improve your overall quality of life. In the meantime, keep moving well, feeling well, and living more. Bye.